Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Beef Farm and Homestead. So this is going to be a quick homestead update, and we're going to start here in the garage. So we got these chicks in here. We got 5 Americanas and 5 black sex links. And the Americanas are pretty calm chicks, but the black ones, man, they are spastic. They're really wild. It's time to get them out of here. If I had to do this again, I wouldn't have put them in my garage. They make a lot of dust. I mean, it is thick on everything. That all throughout here, everything's covered with dust. It gets on the cars. Let's get them out of here, and we're going to get them transferred down to the main coop into the brooder. So we'll go down there and release them, and then we'll walk around the garden, and I'll show you the stuff we got growing, the seeds that we're raising, and also what's going on with the water well and all of that stuff. So let's get these chicks caught. There's the black sex links. So they're pretty well feathered out. There's the Americana. See how calm she is compared to those others? She's pretty. So Americanas lay blue eggs. All right, let's get them down there and turn loose in the brooder. So heading down to the chicken coop, and we're walking here by the big white thing is still here, but I have made some progress. So the guys showed up with their excavator, and it was parked here for a week, and then they showed up and took it away, and that was the last straw. So I got my compact tractor. It's an LSG 3033, and I did some measuring, and I dug this with my front end loader. I'll show some pictures here. But meanwhile, it rained 1.5 inches, so there's about 1 foot of water in the bottom of that. But it is, it just needs fine leveled off, and I'll get this tank put down in there and set up, and I'll start drilling my holes from the for the water and all that, and the controls to go in here. I've talked to I got another well guy, so my son-in-law's dad is a well person, and he is going to help me out, and he's already told me what I need as far as pressure tank and all that, and he's still figuring out what pump we need to get, but he'll help me to get all that, and I'll do a lot of this work myself. But so I got the hole dug, got to let this water subside. I may have to pump it out of there because it's really hard clay type sand rock down there, so I don't know if that'll go on out or not. But here's the plumbing and all of that, and man, it made a huge pile of dirt, so I'm gonna have to move all this dirt somewhere. So okay, to the chickens. So we've got 13 chickens left after all the hawk stuff going on this winter. So this fodder feeder is working great. I had to put some more screws on the wire on the edges because the chickens would all get on there and weight it down, and they would munch down on it. So it's working pretty good. Looks like it's leaving in the middle about 2 inches of growth. So this side here is protected from the elements. Looks like we got a little bit of water in our feed there. Yeah, it's okay. We got a heat lamp in here, and I think I got it set on 75 degrees. So we'll get them put down in here. Okay, everybody seems happy. So you can see the Orpington's got some size on them. No pecking. I need to get them some fresh water. But those little ones, they keep knocking their water over, so you can see they're drinking. They're thirsty. So I filled their water up this morning and they'd already knocked it over. So when we get ready to start acclimating these chicks into the main chicken herd, so we'll take that board off the front there, and you see those slats, so the little chicks can come and go out there, and the big chickens can't come back in, so they have a safe place. So this is their waters out here, and this is kind of their area to roam around. And I keep a cover on here to keep the sun off of them. This kind of blocks the wind, and this side here is enclosed and has the heat lamp. So we've got it set on 77 degrees is what it's set on. Yeah, I think they are much happier to get out of that little box we had up there in the garage. Much happier. These girls are doing good. So that scratch is more of a winter mix. It's got some whole kernel corn and black sunflower seeds in there and other stuff. But we'll probably slow down on this once it's empty. It's about gone. Let's see how they're doing today on their egg production. Looks like we got a broke egg. Lots of yolk in here, it looks like. Yeah, right there's the shell from it. Sometimes they'll lay an egg, it is just so thin, you just barely touch it and it breaks. So that's what's going on there. So we've got, last week it was cool and rainy. We got probably I think it was 1.2 something inches. So I haven't watered in quite a while. Onions are doing well. This patch here anyway. These have about 2 weeks on my other onions. These are Dixondale Farms onions. Some daylilies we need to get transplanted where we're going to move them. So it's supposed to get 80 degrees today, so I'm going to open this up. And I put these hooks on here because these things will come down and knock the snot out of you. So in here we got our cold weather crops. Lettuce, spinach, the tall stuff in the back is broccoli. This is lettuce. Lots of nice lettuce in there. Chickens love it. And we've got some flowers, starts going here. This is foxtail, this stuff right here. And looks like we need to start working on our lettuce and getting it out to the chickens. So yeah, the chickens love this green stuff. All right, let's get inside the garden. I'll show you what I got going on in there. So we did not plant any seeds yet, but I finished up my drip system. So you can see the drip lines. There's 4 in this bed, and there's 3 in this bed that goes all the way around and clear over to here. And clear over here. So we do have strawberries planted. Got us a nice little strawberry right there. Yummy, yummy. So those are Ozark Beauties. And over here we have Quinault, and they're both everbearing. And we do have one right there that's different. That's an all-star. So somehow we got a different kind in there. But there's the strawberries, and the drip system is ready to go. This waters, it has an emitter every foot. So here's an emitter, there's an emitter. So this inner bed is 4 foot, and these are 3 foot on the outside. So that's why there's 4 in the middle. And I got a valve on each bed, so I can run just one or the other if I want, so I can turn it off right here. And it's run on a timer, which I don't have on there right now. I took it inside, but I've run my PVC from my hydrant there, and it's on a T. One side of the T goes to my normal garden hose, and the other side goes into that PVC there, feeds over here, and right here is where my timer goes, and I can set it for, you know, whatever I want it to do, twice a day, once a day, whatever time. And it has a manual setting as well. I also come off here to another PVC, and I took it in. So I took my timer in and this hose, so I had a hose reel here because it froze Tuesday night. It got down to 29 degrees, and I didn't want to damage that. So I've got a hose reel here that is on it pulls out and it retracts. It's really nice. I'll show you when I go in the barn over here. But it's 65 foot long, and it's really nice. So you can spot water out here, whatever you want to water, if you want to water something more than what the drip system's getting, or if there's a dry spot that it's missed or whatever. So we'll use that. It's really nifty. I'll show you that and here in a second. So let me show you the chicken fodder, how it's doing. Yeah, so here's the fodder I planted out on the bare ground. So you can see it's got clover and all kinds of different greens in there that the chickens really love. So I'm letting this get pretty tall before I let them graze on it, and then I'll put them on it just for a little while, because I don't want them to ruin it. I want it to be able to go to seed and reseed itself. So we're going to give that a shot. But man, they can destroy the ground pretty fast. You can see what that pen looks like. That was basically virgin ground in February, and they got it down to nothing. You can tell what they don't like to eat. It stays in there. Fruit trees, everything pretty much bloomed. The freeze I don't think hurt anything. This tree, it's a peach. We haven't located any peaches on it, and I can't remember this one blooming. So this one may have gotten affected by the real hard freeze we had in February, but everything else bloomed. Apple, pear, I believe this is another apple. And we've got comfrey growing at the base of each of the trees, and man, it has really took it off. I even planted some sprigs last fall around this side, and that's to kind of keep the weeds from getting around the bottom of the tree. And the chickens love the comfrey. And these little shrubs, I'll post the name here because I can't remember the name of it, but they really bloomed pretty last year, but this year there's a lot of dead wood on it from that freeze that we got in February. It was below zero for 3 days. So hoping we have some peaches. So my wife said this has cherries all over it. Yeah, there they are. We may have cherries this year. We haven't had a cherry off this tree since we planted it. I think this is its 6th year. All these trees are 6 years old now. Now we planted them straight into this virgin dirt that's out here, which it's terrible dirt. That was before we knew we needed to amend the soil. So I put fertilizer around them every year, twice a year, triple 13, to help them out. Okay, let's get in and show you our seeds we got growing, stuff we're getting ready to put into the garden. Okay, so here's the hose reel that I was talking about. So it'll pull out 65 foot of hose, and you can put whatever nozzle you want on it, but it came with that. And it just connects to your faucet with a normal coupling there. And this is the timer that I got. And I have 4 of these, because I'm going to put drip systems on my trees, my fruit trees, and the north garden as well. So I'll put links below to these so you can check them out. So in here I added 2 more lights up here because I couldn't get any more of these ones that had the 4 bulbs. So I got 2 bulbs, and I had some stuff in the windows, and I got them out of the windows and got it all back in. So a lot of the things that were in the small little containers like this, I've transplanted them into the 4-inch and got them all labeled. So some are doing better than others. These are the Gladiators, Super Beefsteak. This whole tray is Celebrity. And all this down here is Wife's Flowers. And I transplanted quite a lot of this into these 4-inch. And these I think are begonias. So when you do a begonia seed, you have to put it on top of the soil because it has to have light to germinate. But man, she got almost every single one of those. This one didn't fare so well. That's a scarlet sage, begonias, and I don't remember what these are. But we started them out in these little dinky pods like these. And that is an asparagus. So I got a few asparagus coming up. I forgot I actually put them in there, and I was like, no asparagus are coming up, and they were in a different spot than what I thought they were. And I went ahead and planted some more asparagus in these, and they still haven't sprouted. So I did some reading on asparagus seeds, and they take 21 days, I read, to germinate. But so we got us a few little asparagus coming up here. Lots of tomatoes, lots of flowers, and in the window here, I've got some maple trees. I planted the little helicopters in here, and see if those will come up. I also dug up 6 maple trees out there that were sprouted from last year and transplanted those. So last night we got the little tiny swarm that was here. A swarm of bees moved into some of my boxes I have sitting here, you know, just extras, and they moved in. So I got them moved down to the apiary last night. One other thing I did, I was in Tractor Supply and had a weak moment, and when I was buying too many chickens, they had some trees in there, and this is an apple, and I think it's mostly dead. It's got some green coming up right here. And also bought a plum tree, and it's deader than a doornail, so I don't know if I'm going to try and take that back or not. But this is a Honey Crisp, so those are good apples if it'll take off. Yeah, it looks like it's dead to right up here. So the redbud trees are done. You can see a little bit of red in there, but yeah, they're basically done. You can see the Indian paintbrush are starting to bloom. So we usually let this whole field here go, and this whole field will be just a carpet of orange from these Indian paintbrush. And there's a lot of other wildflowers out in here too that come up. Bees are doing well. Need to get our fence taken down completely, the skunk fence. I've got it taken down and gathered up, and that's going to go on the north garden. Boy, they are flying full force right now. Bees have been cooped up for a week because of the cool rainy weather. And the hive right there on the end, that's the tiny swarm. Right next to it is a split we made. Let's see, that came from number 6. Right there, the one just to the right of the tree, and the one behind it over there is a split that came from number 10. The one there with the double stack on it. So their queens got moved out because they were fixing to swarm. And they both had swarm cells in them to make new queens with. So 2 weeks is coming up this week, and we will check in there end of this week to see if we have laying queens in there. So I put quart feeders on these 2 last night, and they've consumed it completely. That's empty, and this one is empty. Almost. There's a little bit down in the lid. So boy, they took that down fast. When they get behind like that and it's been cold, they run out of food, they get hungry. Man, they are beating it in and out of there. So it's really nice today, but it's windy. Like I said, we've had that a week of cold and rain, so they are ready to get out and start foraging. And the honey locusts are starting to bloom now, so I would guess that's where they're all headed. There's a grove of honey locusts about 3/4 mile off that direction, and there's several this direction here. And there's probably a bunch of others I don't know about. Plus everything else is blooming. It's a busy time of year for the bees. So in this area here, I overseeded fescue, scratched the ground up, and then drug over it with a drag and seeded that. So perfect timing for that rain. You can see here a few little hairs coming up, so that's a good thing. So all that lush green in here, that's fescue. Okay, that's it for this update. Second update in April. It's end of April, so that'll catch you up for a while. So our next things we're going to do is we're going to start getting our seeds in the garden as soon as it dries out enough to get in there and it's not muddy, and get our garden seeds going. So we'll and also transplant our tomatoes. We got to get our tomatoes hardened off, so you got to put them outside for a little bit, bring them in. You got to keep alternating that. You can't just put them out in full sun, they will fry. So in some of the wilt that you see on them, I left them out a little too long one day, and it wasn't that long, but it was in the direct sunlight. So you got to be careful with them. You got to get them acclimated to being outdoors, and the wind, and it gets chillier at night. So we're not supposed to get down below 45 for the next quite a while. So I think we're beyond our freeze dates. And so we'll be planting cucumbers, green beans, 2 varieties of green beans, and lots of other vegetables we're going to get out there. And we got the big garden now to the north that we're going to plant. So once we get the tomatoes out of the grow room, we're going to start with our watermelons, cantaloupe going in there as well. And my wife will probably start another batch of flowers, cut flowers, and flowers that she's going to plant around the house. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too long and boring. And we'll catch you on the next update. I assume we'll be in May at that point, and we'll be showing you stuff coming up in the garden. So hey, give me a thumbs up if you would, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And we'll catch you on the next Homestead update. Y'all take care.